Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King, and today I'm going to be giving you part 5 of What If Naruto Was a Prodigy from the Senju, Uchiha, and Uzumaki clan. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the brand new episode over on Anime King 3 of What If Naruto had the 6-eye sharingan, and enjoy that guys. And remember, if you're new, yes, I indeed have 4 channels which I post what if on every single day: Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, and Anime Prince. So yeah, go ahead, check out those and enjoy guys. So without further ado or wasting more time, so we jump right into this brand new episode. Begin now guys. So, the last part that we left off, Naruto had told the girls about his burden and who he really was. They accepted him. Yes, they did. A few weeks passed after that, as Naruto and the girls were being tested on their affinity. Shikaku has proven to be lazy, but he was also a good teacher as well. However, Shikaku was a bit worried, as he heard the philosophy that Naruto talked about the shinobi world. They also ran into Danzo, as Danzo had made it clear to the boy that his own power might be his own undoing. Shikaku was rather angry, as he never liked this man before, telling Danzo to get out of here. Danzo saying that he was just here to greet the new fellow Genins of this year, as he simply made his way by. But the words did not leave Naruto's mind, as he kept on replaying what Danzo said. Thus, a couple months went by. They were still doing, well, nothing that excited. They had been on C-rank missions, but it was just guarding missions. However, Mizuki had been flagged as a traitor, and it was their job to investigate and find out if he was. So with that, they split apart as Naruto and Uchiha made their way. They tailed and followed the man, as he was following Aruka. Aruka was training by himself privately, as Mizuki showed himself. The both of them got to talk, as Mizuki made his intentions clear about Naruto, calling Naruto a monster. Aruka ended up punching him right across the face, as he told him to not say things like that about Naruto. Aruka was rather upset. Naruto was one of his finest students and a fine, great gentleman. Someone that did not deserve the amount of hate that he was receiving. As Mizuki told him that he was not worth the effort anymore, he tried to kill Aruka, but Naruto showed up. Mizuki tried to strike Naruto down. However, Naruto had perfect the sunshine to a point that it even fooled Uchiha, as she thought that he got hit, as she was on the verge of tears to see his body there. However, the real Naruto showed up. Mizuki did not stand a chance against him in terms of overall speed, strength, and everything, as he took him out rather easily. Uchiha was a bit upset, more than a bit, as both her and Hana gave Naruto the silent treatment for a literal month, until he promised that he would not do something like that again. Well, to scare them, that is what he meant, as they were truly terrified that he had been killed. However, he was just fine. So with that, more time passed as they spent time as a team. That was until Jiraiya arrived to the village, as Hiruzen told Naruto about him. Naruto went to go and meet the sage, as he realized that this man was a sage when he found him peeping on the ladies at the hot spring, as Jiraiya introduced himself, as he couldn't believe it. The last time he saw Naruto, well, he was so small, but look at him now, as he's heard quite a lot about the kid from Sarutobi. They talk, as Jiraiya wanted to take him to go and get Tsunade as well. He had a good idea where Tsunade was, the location that is, and he believed that Naruto would be a big part of helping her return. Granted, she did not even know that Naruto was related to her, so yes, perhaps knowing that she had family in the village would help her return back to said village, as Hiruzen decided to authorize this, speaking to Shikaku about where Naruto would be going along for the time being. So with that, both of them left the village, as Jiraiya promised him that he would teach him something awesome on their way there, as Naruto wondered what the legendary Sannin wanted to teach him. So with that, they made their way to go and find the legendary Sannin Tsunade. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across the playcheck of yourself, and also don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels. Yes, I indeed have 4 channels that I post what fun every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead, smash that red subscribe button and become a part of the making family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new so I can welcome you personally. So without further ado or wasting more time, what do you say we jump right into this new episode? Begin now guys. Both Naruto and Jiraiya arrived to the festival that was being held in the town. The streets were filled with people all over, families, friends, lovers. All the shops were also busy as kids were running around playing games. As Naruto looked around in awe, he had never seen anything like this before. I have never been to a place like this. Jiraiya smiled down towards him. Playing is also important too. Get plenty of rest, then we can move on to training. The festival is gonna last a while, so we're gonna stay here while it goes on. We're going to do our training here. You can go and look around while I take care of some of my business. Naruto nodded as he checked his pocket for money before he turned to leave. But Jiraiya stopped him. "Show me your wallet, Naruto," he said. As Naruto looked towards him in confusion, but he pulled it out and handed it to him. As Jiraiya took the frog wallet and looked inside, he then pulled out some money out of it as he handed the money to Naruto and kept the hold onto the wallet. Naruto counted the money that Jiraiya gave him. "It's only 300 Ryu." "Don't question me like that," said Jiraiya. "You know the 3 prohibitions of a ninja, right?" "But that's my money," Naruto argued. "That's not the point here," said Jiraiya. "These 3 desires make ninjas go bad. The 3 desires are alcohol, women, and money." "But that does not have anything to do with me," said Naruto. "I'm not old enough to buy alcohol. I'm too young to get in trouble with women, and I'm not the person that spend unnecessary on things." Jiraiya shook his head. "Don't take the desire for money lightly. Once you start to use it, you'll start to use more. The power of money is quite scary. Your aunt Tsunade has nearly ruined your life because of it, so I don't want you to end up like her." "You're really comparing me to my aunt," said Naruto. "Besides, as far as I know, you're the one that is easily tempted by the desires of a woman, Jiraiya-sama." As Jiraiya simply waved him off. "I'm going to finish up my business," he said. "Take my pack for me. My toad summoning scroll will help you if you can't find me," he said. "So, don't worry if you get lost." As he handed it to Naruto, as he started to walk off with a wave and a smile as he made his way. As Naruto simply turned, even in Konoha, he had not went to any festival, as he preferred to spend his time alone or training. As he looked around, as he saw some kids playing ring throwing or balloon target games, without a care in the world, he smiled a little as he decided to go and join them. But then he stopped in his tracks. He could not think like that. He was a shinobi now. He should be spending his time improving his skills and not wasting time doing useless things. He of course knew there was a life outside training and missions, but he knew that he should not waste his time on such a life. He looked at the kids once again as he wondered how much different he was from them. They could play because they did not have any responsibilities, but he was a shinobi who had to serve his village without a question. They had their family to enjoy with, while he was alone. He wished that Uchiha was here with him, so she could drag him around with her. Then he shook his head at that thought. How stupid could he be? She was nothing but trouble. As he hesitated though, Jiraiya was not going to be back for some while, so maybe he could just enjoy his time until his training starts. Yeah, that is what he will do. As Naruto moved towards one of the games, a kunai throwing game. "You want to give it a try, kiddo?" the shopkeeper asked. As Naruto thought for a moment before, he pulled out some money and gave it to the guy, as the man gave him 4 wooden kunais. Naruto held them up before throwing them all at the same time, as they hit all the targets. The people that was watching cheered for him, and the owner of the shop handed Naruto a large teddy bear. As Naruto took the rather large thing, he did not really need this, as he noticed a small girl. He walked over and handed it to her. Here, this is for you, he said. The girl gave a big smile as she happily accepted the gift. Thank you, she said. As the parents nodded towards Naruto with gratitude, Naruto nodded at them before making his way. A couple hours later, Naruto lay in a field. As he was enjoying his alone time in peace, his hands supporting his head, glancing up towards the night sky always took away all of his worries. His day had started normally. He never thought that he would be on the road with his godfather, searching for his aunt. That thought would have never crossed his mind as he lay down, glancing up towards the heavens. I wonder what those two troublesome women are doing back in the village. As he thought about his teammates, they would be pissed at him, especially Uchiha. He had not informed them before he left the village. He shook his head as he wondered what was going on with him. He was thinking about Uchiha a lot nowadays. He supposed it was because he liked to spend time with her. She can be annoying sometimes, but he still liked her the way she is. She always was able to bring a smile to his face. Getting out of his thoughts, he realized it was getting late, as he should search for Jiraiya. On the way back, he bought ice cream for himself, and one for Jiraiya as well. As he followed the toad, which he guessed was following Jiraiya's scent, he realized he was close when he heard Jiraiya boom in laughter as the toad stopped in front of a shop. The toad pointed toward the shop before poofing away. As Naruto made his way inside and saw Jiraiya sitting between two women, as Naruto looked at him with a blank stare. Upon noticing Naruto, Jiraiya looked up with a smile. Ah, Naruto, he said. Did you enjoy the festival already? Naruto did not respond, as he noticed his wallet on the table. Empty. As Naruto walked over towards it, looking down towards his empty wallet, rage ignited within him. Rage started to spiral inside of him. As he looked towards his empty wallet, this man was getting on his nerves. It didn't matter who he was. He had just crossed the line this time. Naruto glanced up as the seal over his eyes broke. His three-totem sharingan came into full view. Jiraiya laughed nervously. Calm down, Naruto, he said. We can talk this out like men. You broke all three prohibitions of shinobi in one go. You damn pervert, said Naruto. Naruto did not normally lose his composure, but this man had spent his whole savings that he had in his wallet. Naruto brought his hands up. As he started to perform hand signs, the ladies got scared as they ran away, as Naruto summoned a bunch of crows that started to attack Jiraiya. Wait, Naruto, wait! I'll pay you back, I promise! Naruto threw the ice cream into his face. You use all the money that I work hard to save, you damn idiot! What kind of person are you? Naruto pulled his hand back to throw the other ice cream. However, it hit someone behind him. What the hell? What you doing, fool? A man shouted as he stood next to the one that Naruto hit with the ice cream. You brat, you just ruined the boss' brand new suit. That will cost you 100,000 Ryu. Jiraiya perked up hearing that. That stupid little thing costs 100,000 Ryu. You expect us to believe that? What? Are you trying to pick a fight? You shouldn't for your own sake. The boss is a former Chunin ninja from the land of rock. He was feared as a legendary Yamin. Jiraiya tilted his head in confusion. Legendary what? The man started to yell. Oh, it seems like you boys want to get hurt. Jiraiya got to his feet. Naruto, this is a good opportunity to show you that technique. Naruto watched his hand as blue chakras start to gather in his palm and spin in a circle. The man rushed forward, the so-called boss, to attack Jiraiya. However, Jiraiya hit him in the stomach with the technique. He spun and flew right into his assailant as they were blasted outside. As Naruto was surprised by the force, from what he had seen, it just took a mere second. As Jiraiya walked over towards the man, You're the legendary Jiraiya of the Sun, aren't you? He said, lying on the ground in pain as he saw the headband with a kanji for oil on it. As Naruto was surprised, he has never seen a technique where you mold chakra out of the body like that. That is no ordinary technique. Time skip. The next day, both Naruto and Jiraiya stood in a field. Here, take this, said Jiraiya, as he handed Naruto a water balloon. What's this for? You watched me perform the jutsu yesterday, right? What did it look like? Well, you rotated chakra in your palm, said Naruto. Yes, you're right. I was rotating the chakra, said Jiraiya, as he held up one of the water balloons. The water inside the balloon started to bubble. As Naruto activated Sharingan to look carefully to see what was going on, you're rotating the water in multiple different directions and the balloon is having trouble maintaining the water inside of it. The next moment the balloon bursts as Jiraiya grinned towards Naruto. You pick up fast, kid, he said. With a tree climbing exercise, you accumulate and maintain a certain amount of chakra in a certain area. With the water walking exercise, you release a constant stream of chakra. This time, you're going to create a flow of chakra. These are just basics for these exercises, so all I have to do is create a fast rotation inside the balloon to pop it, said Naruto. Jiraiya nodded. Yeah, so you try that. I'll go get some supplies for us to keep on moving. You can train on the road as well. Later that evening, Naruto was already on to the second step, which was much harder, as Jiraiya had came back. He said that he found information on Tsunade. They were heading towards a small village near Lightning Country. Time skip 2 days later. Both Jiraiya and Naruto stood on a mountain top, overlooking a small town. According to their information, this was where they find Tsunade. Yesterday, Naruto had completed the second step into mastering the Rasengan. However, he had injured his right hand, which was bandaged up right now. He had used too much chakra to work on the rubber ball and making it change shape, and it ended up exploding with the chakra being released, as Naruto was not prepared for the containment and his hand got hurt. Jiraiya had told him to take it easy until he recovered. There's no need for him to push himself that hard, as Naruto was a bit bummed out, but Jiraiya told him not to feel bad about it. After all, it took his father, who was said to be a genius amongst geniuses, 3 years to create and master the technique, and it took Jiraiya 8 months, and Naruto had already completed the first 2 steps in 2 days, so he should not feel bad. He was already on his way to becoming something great. However, Naruto figured if they were to find Tsunade quickly, she could just heal his arm, and he could continue once again. So with that, the both of them made their way. The following day, after hours of searching, they still had not been able to locate Tsunade, and it was getting dark. Naruto knew that it would be hard to find her, but he never thought it would be this hard. They had left the Leaf Village for some time now, and Naruto could not waste so much time outside the village. His team was waiting for him. At the moment, the both of them stood in front of a local bar. What are we doing here, Sensei? Said Naruto, as Naruto had started to address him as such, seeing that he was now training him. We can gather valuable intel in places like these, and we also have a very high chance of finding her in a place like this. As Naruto shook his head and muttered, I can't even count how many bars I've gone to in a single day. Jiraiya started to walk towards the bar. Well, come on, kid, he said. Don't just stand there. As Naruto followed him inside. As they entered, Jiraiya paused, as Naruto almost bumped into him. Naruto looked up, however, he saw the man staring at someone. Tsunade. As Naruto turned, following his gaze, and saw her, Naruto was confused. As he looked around, wondering if he was seeing correctly. Jiraiya was around 50 years old, give or take, but Tsunade was supposed to be the same age as him, correct? So who was that woman then? As Naruto was looking at a woman that seemed to be in her late 20s, blonde beautiful hair and brown eyes. She was wearing a grey kimono with an obi wrapped around her waist. Still confused, as Naruto saw Jiraiya looking at her. She must be the one. And one thing also pointed out that she was. But Naruto tried not to focus on that. There was also a woman there as well, with black hair and dark eyes. She was holding on to a pig. Jiraiya regained his composure as he walked over and sat down, as Naruto was still confused as hell. Long time no see, Tsunade. It's good to see you after so long. You as well, Shizune. You've grown up quite beautiful, said Jiraiya. Tsunade sighed. What are you doing here, Jiraiya? She said, her tone filled with annoyance. What? Can't I come to meet my old teammate? Get to the point already. What do you want? She said, as Jiraiya sighed. I have a message for you. From Sensei, he said. Sensei has decided to step down, and he wants you to be the next Hokage of the village. Naruto, who had just drank some water, started to choke, as he had to cough violently. He then snapped his head up towards the Sanin. As Naruto wondered if he was hearing correctly, or had he gone deaf or something. But he was not the only one. Both women was also shocked as well by Jiraiya's declaration. Tsunade's eyes narrowed. Her tone became low and dangerous. Jiraiya, how dare. Before she could continue though, he started to wave his hand in front of her, interrupting her. Okay, calm down, Haim, he said. I was just joking. There's nothing like that. We were just passing by when I saw you. Tsunade calmed down a bit, but she still looked at him with suspicion and anger. Her eyes then finally moved towards the child, who was sitting quietly. He tried not to look at her. Hey you, brat, what's your name? And why are you wearing a leaf headband? Are you trying to play ninja or something? As Naruto looked up, when he saw a look of sadness pass her face, at her asking if he was trying to play ninja. But there was another reason as well. He reminded her of someone. As Naruto looked towards her, she did not know that he was her nephew, as he wondered how she would react. My name is Naruto Jiraiya interrupted, stopping Naruto from saying his last name. His name is Naruto. He's a genin, also my apprentice. We're just on a small training trip. Naruto looked toward his sensei in confusion, as he wondered why he stopped him from giving his full name. He decided to stay quiet for now and let Jiraiya handle this on his own. Tsunade also appeared confused for a moment, but she let it pass. As she looked at Naruto. Genin? Seriously? You look like you're 10 or 11 years old. Well, he is. He graduated quite early. Even our sensei spoke quite highly of him. Tsunade snorted at that, as Jiraiya spoke again. But it's good that we came across you too. Shizune, can you please heal Naruto's hand? It got injured while training. Shizune nodded. Of course, Jiraiya-sama, she said, as she came around and sat right beside Naruto, who extended his hand as she started to take off the bandages. Her hand started to glow green as Naruto felt the pain slowly start to vanish. While healing him, Shizune murmured, What did you get yourself into? This is not a normal injury. These are chakra burns. These can be dangerous. But when her hand stopped glowing, she looked up with a smile. All done, she said, but don't put too much strain on it, alright? Naruto flexed his arm. Wow, it feels much better now. Thank you, miss, he said to her. My name is Shizune. Nice to meet you, Naruto, she said, as he smiled, thanking her once again, making her smile back. It's getting late, Naruto. You must be tired by now. Shizune, can you please take him with you to the hotel? Tsunade and I will stay a bit longer to catch up on old times, you know. Shizune looked towards her master, who sighed but nodded. As she then turned towards Jiraiya. Alright, Jiraiya-sama, she said. Come on, Naruto-kun. As Naruto glanced towards Jiraiya, he was not sure what he was doing. They were to find Tsunade, tell her about him, and then return back to the village. As Jiraiya noticed his look, Just go, Naruto, he said. We'll talk later. Just rest up for now. You had a long day today, said Jiraiya. Naruto said nothing as he still had no idea what the man was doing as he left with Shizune. Sometime later, Jiraiya and Tsunade sat together as they enjoyed some sake. You haven't changed a bit, he said. His face was red as he looked her up and down. Still the most beautiful woman I ever seen in my life. Tsunade glanced towards him at the corner of her eyes as she sipped her drink. And I see that you haven't changed either, still. The same old pervert. As Jiraiya chuckled. You know me so well, Tsunade, he said. Tsunade shook her head as her expression became serious. Now tell me the real reason why you're here, Jiraiya. I know what you said earlier was a lie. I guess I can't fool you, he said. As he was wondering how he should tell her. As he went right into it, I wanted to introduce Naruto. That is why we came all the way out here. Tsunade narrowed her eyes at that. Why go through all this trouble just for that kid to meet me, she asked. As Jiraiya knew that he had to tell her now, they could not back down. His full name is Naruto Uzumaki. Uzumaki? Said Tsunade looking confused. Don't talk nonsense, Jiraiya, she said. You know that is not possible. As far as she remembered, the last person to use that name was her cousin Kushina. Jiraiya looked towards her. I know how it sounds, he said. But that kid is a child of Minato and Kushina, your nephew. Tsunade's eyes went wide before she grabbed his collar tightly. Don't screw with me, Jiraiya, she said. I was told that their child died on the same night with them. Jiraiya freed himself from her grip as he was not affected by her outbursts. He was used to it by now. He spoke softly. I am telling the truth, Tsunade, he said. He is really their son. But, Tsunade's voice started to tremble. She clearly had not expected this. After losing her little brother and her fiancé Dan in the war, Kushina had been the only family she had left. Tsunade had given her blessings to Kushina when she had married Minato, and when Kushina became pregnant and asked Tsunade to be there, she had been overjoyed. However, halfway into her journey, returning back to the village, she received terrible news. She remembered that day like it was yesterday, and Anbu had came and informed her that the fourth Hokage and his wife had died with their unborn child. She had cursed the heavens that day. Once again, her precious people were taken away. She had cursed the village. She cursed the very groans of the village as she swore on her life that she would never ever return ever again. But now here was Jiraiya saying that she had a nephew. She had looked towards his face when he had first arrived, but she had dismissed the thought because she knew that it was impossible. But his eyes is here. As she looked down, complete shock written all over her face. How could she have missed it? He had the hair and the eyes, but the face. It was Kushina. Why wasn't I told about this? And why the hell did that Anbu lie to me? Well, Sensei did try multiple times to locate you, but you're a hard one to find. Also, I was told the same thing. I was upset as well, but I came back to confirm it with Sensei, and he told me their child was still alive. Tsunade cursed herself. She should have done the same thing instead of running away. I'm such a fool, she muttered under her breath. His heritage is being kept a secret within the village. Only people close to Minato and Kushina know about him, said Jiraiya. Tsunade looked towards him confused. Why, she said. At this point, Jiraiya hesitated, but he went through with it. He is also a jinchuuriki of the Kyuubi. Minato sealed the beast in him to save the village. Because of that, people don't trust Naruto that much within the village. What? Tsunade said with fury. She knew how difficult it could be to be a jinchuuriki, and he was left all alone, and she did not know. As she also cursed Minato for doing that to his own son. He's a nice kid. I just met him recently, said Jiraiya, trying to calm her down. Not arrogant and always willing to help others. He reminds me of Minato. He even graduated as the Rookie of the Year at the age of 10. They have already started to call him a once in a generation Prodigy. As Jiraiya smiled. Looks like the world is going to see another blonde powerhouse running around the elemental nation, Tsunade muttered to herself. But now she was saddened. He had lived his life without any family love. She should have been there for him. The next day, Rasengan, Naruto called out. Naruto thrust his arm into the rock. However, the Rasengan was not able to keep the shape. The rock cracked and break, but it was not drilling. He looked towards his hand. Since Shizune had healed his hand last night, he was able to get back to work, and he was now able to form the spear of Rasengan, but he could not stabilize it at the moment. Jiraiya had not shown up at all, and Naruto was thinking about going back to the village. But for now, he was working on the Rasengan, and once again the thing destabilized, and he started to burn his hand. Seeing that when it destabilized, the pressure went out, and it came down on his hand with a bit amount of force, burning his skin. But despite the pain, he was fully determined to master this. A distance away, sitting on a branch, Tsunade was watching Naruto train. She had been shocked when she saw him practicing the Rasengan, and she had thought about going there to stop him. In her thoughts, the Rasengan was a very high level jutsu, and she did not think someone as young as Naruto should be working on that. But she had decided against it and just observe him, and she could tell that Jiraiya was right. This kid was far different from others, and he was so talented in the shinobi art. She wanted to talk to him. Since she found out that he was her nephew, he had not left her thoughts, but she did not know what she could say to him. Her eyes widened when she saw Naruto was blasted away by the force of the jutsu. She was by his side in a second. You idiot! What are you thinking doing something so reckless? Looking at his palm, she once again saw burn marks. His chakra is unbelievable, she thought. The only other person I've seen with chakra like this is my grandfather. Didn't Shizune told you to take it easy for the time being? She started to scold him, as her hands were already lighting up green, with green medical-induced chakra. As Naruto simply watched her as she worked on his hand. I'm alright, he said, as she stopped her jutsu, as his hand had healed rather quickly. Tsunade got to her feet as she held her hand out, helping him to get up as Naruto took the hand. "Can we talk?" she said. Naruto nodded as they made their way over toward the shade of a tree, as they sat down underneath it. But once Tsunade was there, her mind went blank, as she was not sure what to say. As Naruto was the one to break the silence, so he said, "What do you want to talk about?" After a moment of silence, she spoke up. "That jutsu you were practicing earlier, it's a Rasengan." As Naruto nodded, "That's quite a high-ranking technique you're trying to master. Are you sure that you can perfect it?" she asked. "Of course I will master it," said Naruto. There was no hesitation in his voice. "I just need some time." Tsunade smiled at his confidence. "Yesterday, Jiraiya told me everything." As Naruto looked at her. "So, you know about me," he said. She nodded. "Look, Naruto," she said. "I cannot take back what I've done. But I'm really sorry. I should have been there with you. Please forgive me," she said. "I was too much of a coward." As Naruto was silent for a long while, before he spoke, "I know what it feels like to lose someone close to you. I also lost a person who was like my big brother. So I guess I understand what you felt at that time. And it's not like I was completely alone in my life. There was Hokage Jiji always looking after me, even now. And I have wonderful teammates and sensei, though they can be an idiot sometimes." Tsunade smiled softly. "I see that you're very mature for your age. I don't know what you've been through your life, but I do regret my actions back then." Naruto shook his head. "You can't regret your past. People should move on with their life. If they don't, they're not developing." "I'm afraid it's not that easy," said Tsunade. "I know, it's not easy," said Naruto, "but at least we can try." Tsunade grinned. "I'm being lectured by a squirt," she said, as Naruto's eye twitched. "Why does everyone keep on mentioning my height? I'm 10 years old, goddammit." As Tsunade chuckled at that, before she calmed down. "Can I ask you something?" said Naruto. "Sure," she said. "I always want to know about my mother. Why was she called Uzumaki instead of Senju?" "Well, our grandmother, Mito Uzumaki, was from the Uzumaki clan in the land of Edis. The clan specialized in Fuinjutsu. My uncle wanted to learn that art, so he moved to the village, and he later got married to a Uzumaki woman, and they settled down and had Kushina. Kushina was brought up in that village amongst the Uzumakis before it was destroyed at the start of the Second Great Shinobi War. So she always preferred to be called Uzumaki out of respect to her mother's clan." "I never knew the Uzumakis were a clan," said Naruto. "I always thought it was just a name." "Of course it was a clan," said Tsunade. "They were the cousin clans of the Senju, and they were one of the strongest clans in the world. The world knows that the Senju and the Uchiha clan formed the Hidden Leaf, but the Uzumaki clan was there to help stabilize it. Even today, the shinobis of Konoha wear the symbol of the Uzumaki on their back of their vests to symbolize the friendship and respect." "Seriously?" said Naruto, surprised. He had not known any of this. He has been wearing his clan symbol on his back, and he did not even know. Just like that, they talked more and started to know each other better, as Naruto told her about his childhood, and his teammates, and the few missions he's been on so far. As Tsunade told him about Minato and Kushina, and also about herself as well. After such a long time, Tsunade was feeling happy. She had found her family. Time skip. Over the next 4 days, Naruto and Tsunade became quite close. They talked about their life as they trained. She'd even give him advice on how to improve his shock control when she heard that he was not able to control it properly. In their short time together, he even became good friends with Shizune. But today, Naruto and Jiraiya had to go back. They've been gone too long. "You sure you don't want to come back to Konoha, Tsunade?" Jiraiya asked. "I need some time," said Tsunade, and she smiled towards Naruto. "But I'm sure I'll come with Shizune to meet you from time to time." As Naruto smiled hearing that, "Well then," he said, "we must leave. It's been almost a month since we left the village. I'm sure that sensei is worried about me." As Tsunade kneeled down towards him and hugged him tightly, as she whispered in his ear, "I'll come soon to meet you, alright?" As Naruto hugged her back, Tsunade then stood as she kissed him on the forehead, which made him blush. "Goodbye, you two. Have a safe journey." "Goodbye, Naruto-kun. I'll see you soon." As Naruto waved goodbye to her and Shizune and Tonton with a smile on his face. As they were heading back, Jiraiya glanced over. "So Brat, how are you feeling?" he asked. "Well, of course I'm happy," said Naruto. "I got to meet my Oba-san." As he looked down towards the green necklace in his hand that she had given him, wrapping his fingers around, he held it in his pocket as he continued his journey towards Konoha. Time skip. When they arrived home, Naruto had to listen to Uchiha nagging about not telling her and Hana that they were leaving the village. But he explained what happened, and they had quickly forgotten about their scolding him. To find out what happened, Jiraiya had spent some time before he had to leave to continue his mission. As for Naruto and his training, he had of course mastered the Rasengan, and because of the chakra help that he got from Tsunade, he was coming along nicely. Time flew by pretty quickly, as Naruto and his team were waiting. It has been a month since he had met Tsunade. They were now waiting for their lazy sensei. Shikaku had told them that he had something important to discuss with them, and they wondered what it was. Finally, in a poof of smoke he arrived, holding 3 papers in his hand. "What are these, sensei?" Naruto asked as his sensei handed the forms to them. "I have some news. The Chunin exams are going to start, and I nominated you all for them." "Really?" Hana said with wide eyes. "But are you sure that we're ready for it? I mean, it's not that long since we became Genins." Shikaku shrugged. "In my opinion, you're all ready for it. But it is up to you guys. If you want to participate or not, even if you don't participate, you can try again in 6 months." "I am not going to wait that long," said Naruto. "This is a good opportunity for me to rise up the ranks and test my abilities and take more challenging missions." Naruto is right. This is a good opportunity for us. "Count me in," said Uchiha. Hana sighed. "Well, I guess I could at least give it a try. I don't want to be left behind by these two." "Alright, if you've decided, just fill out the form. You have to be at the academy tomorrow at 8 o'clock for the first round." "What? Tomorrow?" Hana said. "You guys can take today off to rest," said Shikaku, ignoring the look on their faces, before he vanished off. As Naruto turned towards them, "Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow." With that, he disappeared in a crow, Sunshin. The next day, as Naruto arrived at the academy to see that his teammates were there, actually waiting for him, Uchiha looked towards him with their arms folded. "Well, look who's finally here. And yet you told us to not be late." "I am not late," said Naruto. "You guys just arrived earlier than me." Uchiha's eye twitched at his response. "Come on, let's get a move on," Hana said. "We're going to room 307. "Alright, let's go," said Naruto. When they got inside, they saw teams talking amongst each other. As they made their way there, they saw Hayate, who called out to them. "So, you guys are participating as well, huh? You guys sure that you can handle this?" The one that spoke up was Katetsu, as he came over as well. "I heard it's quite difficult. Not everyone can pass." "You don't have to worry about us. We can take care of ourselves just fine," Hana said as she narrowed her eyes. "Hey, come on now, we're all friends. There's no need to fight," Hayate said, as Naruto looked towards the girls. "We should get going," he said, as Hayate ignored Naruto. "So, how you been, Uchiha?" he said. "I'm fine," she said. "What about you?" she asked. "Oh, I'm good," he said. "I was just wondering, would you like to hang out after the exams are finished?" "I don't see anything wrong with that, but for now, I want to focus on the exam," she said, as Naruto was walking ahead of them. Felt annoyed as he heard Uchiha accepting Hayate's offer, but he quickly banished those feelings away, as it should not concern him what she did in her alone time. He too had to concentrate on the exams. Still, he wondered if there was something between her and Hayate. Wait, where the hell did those thoughts come from? He wondered to himself. As they made their way towards the exam hall, they noticed that it was filled with Genins from all over the world, some of them older than them. In fact, Naruto was the youngest, as everyone turned their gaze upon him. Some looked towards him curiously as some of them glared at him. Paying them no mind, Naruto stood at the corner with his teammates. After a few minutes, there was a poof. Several people arrived. The one in the center spoke up. "Alright, settle down, brats," he said, wearing a bandana with scars across his face. "My name is Ibiki Marino, and I will be the proctor of the first phase of this exam." As Naruto listened to him closely, the first round will be a written test to gauge your intelligence. You have 1 hour to finish your paper. If any of you are caught cheating 5 times, you will be disqualified, along with your entire team. He then provided the question and paper, and with that, the first round of the exams came to a start. For Naruto, the written exam was easy as he saw that they should cheat. However, the point was they should not get caught by the examiner. But he did not need to cheat. Naruto had all kind of knowledge stuck in his brain. Balance of brain and brawn. That was the most important ideal of being a ninja. As Naruto was done pretty quickly as he placed his pencils down, he glanced to see how the rest was doing. Some was slipping into the minds of their targets, others were watching the movement of their opponent's hands. Some traced out the sound of pencils rubbing against paper. After time came to an end. Time. Ibiki called out, stopping them. Everyone's still here. Proceed to the second exam. The result of the first test will be announced once the second exam is complete. Question. One of the genin spoke up as Ibiki turned towards him, as he gave him permission to speak. Does that mean if we pass the second exam, but we fail this exam, we won't be able to go on into the third exam? Yes, exactly. That is what it means, Ibiki said, as many people started to talk at once. Quiet, he called out. You're on the road to become Chunins, and once you are, you'll be leading teams. Not all missions yield immediate results. There will be sometimes paces where you turn your mental energy at the job at hand while you're waiting on another result. During this exam, you should have expanded every effort. So trust in your abilities and fight in the second exam with all your might. Once the group were gathered, Naruto asked, how did you do? Well, the questions were difficult for a genin level, but I was still able to answer most of them. Hana said, come on guys, let's go, said Uchiha. We still need to find out what the second exam is and complete it. Time skip. Training Ground 44, otherwise known as the Forest of Death. Naruto and his teams arrive on the scene. As they glance around, there were a total of 25 to 30 teams that were here taking part in this round. As they waited for further information on what they were going to be doing in this round, he could see some Chunins and Chunin 11 ninjas there, but what caught his attention was the anbu officers there. As he realized that this round was not going to be easy like the last one, he had heard quite a lot about this particular training ground. It was very dangerous, and only Chunin and above level shinobis could enter inside with permission. But he did not know what made this training ground so dangerous. A Jonin with a red framed sunglasses called out, gathering all their attention. When everyone had given him their full attention, he started. Welcome to Training Ground 44, otherwise known as the Forest of Death. My name is Aoba Yamashiro, and I will be the proctor of this second round. Before we begin this test, I have something to hand out to you all. As a Chunin arrived toward his side, these are standard consent forms. Before the test, you all have to read over this and sign it. One of the genins asks, but why do we have to sign it? The proctor adjusts his glasses. There's a very high chance that you might die inside of here. So by signing this, you agree that you'll be taking this risk on your own. Neither me or the Leaf Village will take responsibility if anything happened to you in this forest. Several genins gulp after hearing that. There was a chance of death in this forest. Some of them start to hesitate on actually going farther in this exam. Well, he spoke up once again, if you guys please hurry, so I can explain what you guys are going to do inside. Naruto had no hesitation on his face. He was not going to back down from this. He had full confidence in himself. He also had full confidence in both of his teammates that they could handle anything as he turned towards them. Are you guys ready? He asked. Yeah, they both said as they took the forms and signed them without even reading them. After all the genins had signed their forms, the proctor started up once again. Alright, listen up carefully everyone. I'll explain what you're going to be doing in this test. This will test everyone's survival skills. Each team will be assigned a different entrance gate to enter into the forest. In the center of the forest there is a locked tower, located 10 kilometers away from each gate. It will be a race to reach the tower, but to enter, your team will have to have both Heaven and Earth Scroll, he said, as he held up both of the scroll. As one of the genins spoke up, so that means half of us will fail. I said it's a race. We can't allow a large amount of number of you guys to pass on to the next level. So only a limited amount of teams will be passing on to the next round. Also, that team has to pass the first round. But if you did not pass the first round, the team behind you will take your place and you will be disqualified. What? You, you can't do that. That's totally unfair. Rules are rules, the proctor said. By this point, none of the Genins knew if they passed the first round after all. They were going into this blind. It seems like a game of chance. And many of them can lose if they end up failing the written tests. Even if they went through this risking their life, they can still lose because of the damn written tests. Many of them start to mumble angrily to themselves. They did not like it in the slightest. With that, the teams went and exchanged their signed papers for a scroll. As they were all gathered at the gate, when the bell went off, they all shot into the forest. Moments later, as Naruto and his team came to a stop in a tree. We are not going to search for the teams to fight. We're going straight to the tower. But Naruto-kun, we need a earth scroll. Without that, we can't really enter into the tower, Hana pointed out, as she was not sure what Naruto was trying to do with that. As Naruto pulled out the scroll that was given to him, with a kanji for heaven on it. They had to take the earth scroll from another team, but the problem was they did not know which team had what scroll. And what if they attack a team and still couldn't get a scroll they wanted? Then it would be a complete waste of time, something they can't afford to waste time on. We cannot afford to spend too much time in this forest. So we'll move directly toward the tower, and I'll hold the scroll in my hand for other teams to see which scroll we have. If the other team is carrying the same scroll as us, they will likely avoid us in order to save time. By this, we can attract a team holding the scroll that is opposite of ours. That's a very good plan, but it's also very risky as well, said Yujiro. This is the only option we have if we want to finish in the top 4, said Naruto. Also, you're a very good sensor, so you can sense any approaching team. After realizing it was the best option they had, both girls agree with his plan. As they start to move toward the tower at normal speed, as Naruto held on to the scroll, showing that it was a heaven scroll. After hours of running, Team 12 did not encounter another team yet, but they knew that it was just a matter of time before another team come towards them. Just like their team was looking for Earth Scroll, other teams want the Heaven Scroll as well, which Naruto was holding right in his hand. However, they also learned why this place was so dangerous. They had to look out for something else as well, those being the man-eating plants and the animals. And if that wasn't dangerous enough, there were numerous traps set all around the area. Even if the time limit was 5 days, Naruto was sure that they should not spend that much time in here, as Naruto was aiming to pass this test in a single day. As they were walking, Yujiro spoke up. I sense there's a team heading towards us. How far? Hana said. Not too far. They will catch up to us in 4 or 5 minutes. They seem to be jogging. I have a plan, said Naruto. I will be bait to lure them. You two hide your presence and wait for my signal. What's the plan? Said Yujiro, looking towards him. I already told you, said Naruto. Go wait. You will see my signal. You will know when time comes. Come on, Yujiro, we don't have time to argue. Let's just go with it, Hana said. The both of them jumped away after a second, as they masked their presence by genjutsu. As Naruto started to hop through the trees, it did not take long for him to dodge. As kunais peppered the tree that he almost landed on, Naruto flipped and landed on his feet. Just as his feet touched the ground, 3 Genins surrounded him in a triangle formation. Running alone like this in a forest, it's suicide, kid, a boy said from behind him, as Naruto saw the headband of Taki on their foreheads. How can they even allow a kid like you to enter the exams? The girl in front of him said in a mocking way. As Naruto glanced towards the other side, where a boy stood, he seemed to be 15 or 16. Something about him told Naruto that he was a leader, as his height was rather taller than Naruto's. If you hand over the scroll like a good boy, we won't kill you. But if you fight back, I cannot promise anything, he said. Naruto was right as he pulled out the scroll, showing that he had the Earth Scroll. You know, said Naruto, there's a requirement in this test that you have to participate in a 3-man cell. So why am I alone here like this? Poor kid, the girl said. Did your teammates ditch you? The others are waiting in the ambush. Can't you figure that out for yourself, said Naruto, looking towards her. The smile instantly slipped from her face. Yujiro blinked where she was. What's the point of hiding if that idiot is just gonna reveal everything? She whispered out to Hana as they were hiding in the trees. Shh, calm down, Hana said. Back down below, relax, said Naruto. I'm alone here. My teammates went to search for a team with a scroll, he said as he saw them looking around. But they could not pick up on anyone, so they turned their focus back to him. As Naruto looked towards the leader, the only conclusion you can come to from this 3 against 1 is that you're a failure. What? The leader said. Yes, you're a failure, said Naruto. You're even underestimating me because I'm younger than you. Come on, the boy behind Naruto said. Let's just finish him already. As he started to get a bit nervous, the kid was too calm. Despite being surrounded by the 3 of them, something must be wrong. The leader swallowed with a gulp, as sweat ran down his forehead. As Naruto was calm and collected, breaking his opponent's mind before breaking their physical body was something that he liked to do. After all, the moment they lose confidence in themselves, the fight was over. Doesn't it make you uncomfortable that I'm here alone? I mean, doesn't it make you feel strange my team would leave me by myself to go somewhere else to get a scroll, leaving me, the youngest one out of the group, right here? Do you want to know why they did that? You see, it's quite simple. My team is far superior to the other teams. Naruto knew that he was being arrogant saying that, but he had to put doubt in the ninja's mind. Even the girls started to look around cautiously. As a leader, narrowed his eyes dangerously before speaking. Get him, he said. All 3 of them launched shuriken towards Naruto. The girl then jumped ahead as a boy that was behind Naruto went to the left, the leader went to the right. Naruto jumped up. As he dodged the shurikens, the girl smiled. She caught him. As she brought her blade down, she sliced towards Naruto. The blade slashed right through Naruto until his body exploded in a murder of crows. As all the crows started to flock around the area, as Naruto reappeared a distance away. You lose, he said. What? The leader said, turning towards him. Now, said Naruto. Fang over fang! Now that they were all standing next to each other, Hana burst out of the foliage with her dogs. The 3 ninjas were blasted up in the air. Uchiha would then landed beside Naruto. As she blurred through hand signs, water style, water missile jutsu. Her attack slammed right into the 3 of them, slamming them against a tree. My turn, said Naruto, seeing them soak. As he blurred through hand sign of his own, lightning release, lightning bolt. Hold out his palm, a flicker of lightning shot towards them. The 3 of them cried out as they were electrocuted, the water further adding to their agonizing pain. By the time it was done, the only one that was still awoken was the leader. But he could not move as Naruto walked towards him. You had us cornered from the start. Your 2 teammates were just waiting for your signal. You made a mistake, said Naruto. You jumped right into a fight, not thinking about the consequences or your surroundings. So, from the start, you had already lost, said Naruto. As he started to walk towards them, the leader, eyes going wide with fear. As Naruto calmly approached, all the leader heard was his footsteps touching the ground. As the trees, the leaf crunkled. Please, let us go, he said, as he reached for the scroll and handed it out, actually throwing it towards Naruto's feet. As long as you understand, said Naruto. That is when the leader heard. I cannot, having you attack my team from behind. The leader blinked in shock before he was hit in the back of the neck. As he fell unconscious, poof, the clone vanished. As the real Naruto picked up the scroll. Hell yeah, said Uchiha. We finally got our scroll. Come on, said Naruto. We can still head to the tower today. Hopefully we don't run into another team. You know, your mind games are really scary, she said, looking towards him, seeing how he put the fear of Kami in his opponents without even fighting them. It was necessary, said Naruto, to get them off guard. Come on guys, said Hana, we got the scroll, and I don't really want to spend any more time in this forest. With that, the 3 of them took off. But guys, be in subscribe right here. If you want something to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And don't forget to go ahead and check out the other what ifs of the other channels. Yes, I indeed have 4 channels that post what if every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead, check them out, and yeah, enjoy. But I'm over now, see you soon. Peace.